What's going on, everybody? My name is Tony, and we want to thank you all for joining us and being part of the 8th episode of our Jam Compass webinar called The Link. We have an awesome panel of our super talented songwriters with us today. We want to say hello to the viewers watching as well. Thanks for tuning in. I'm one of the co-founders of Jam Compass, which is a mobile app that will allow creatives and music industry professionals the ability to connect, collaborate, and find opportunities in real time. It's actually in the process of being reviewed by the App Store right now, and will be launching as an invite-only beta very soon. So we'll keep you posted on that. And while we're working on finishing that up, we wanted to start bringing the music community together to discuss where things are headed within the industry with all that's going on right now. So on today's episode, we'll be hearing from our panel of songwriters on how things have changed within the industry and what they've been working on as well. So before we get to it, for all the viewers, you can introduce yourself in the chat. And if you have any questions for the panelists, you can enter them in the Q&A section. And now I'm going to pass it on to Anthony, my partner in Jam Compass.
What's up, guys? My name's Anthony, and I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out today to join us for the 8th episode of the webinar. Like Tony said, this app we've been working on for like 3 years now, and we are probably like a month away from going live with it. It's going to be invite only, and it's going to be a major tool for the industry. So we're super excited to, one, have you guys on, and then also have you guys on the beta version when we go live. But yeah, we're going to go around to each writer and, introduce yourself, talk about what you have going on. We'll be asking some questions, but, it's kind of like a really chill hang, and we can kind of like talk to each other in open conversation and talk about, what we think is important right now, and kind of educate and, talk about your experiences. So we'll start with Lauren. How are you? Dyson.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
Yeah. Well, hi to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us. It's a crazy time is what's happening, but I'm a songwriter, artist, vocal producer. I split my time between writing for K-pop acts like BTS. I also have my own artist project. I write for Sync. I write for things like Barbie, for Mattel. I kind of split my time. I wear many hats. I think a lot of us do the same. So that's a little bit about me. And during this time, just been trying to stay busy, trying to stay focused, and remind myself why I got into music in the first place, and kind of be thankful for that opportunity to sit with myself and, enjoy what I really do.
Definitely.
I love this girl. And good lighting too.
I placed it up by a window.
and Dyson, we're recently on Songland.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that experience and what that's done for you too.
Songland was, hand on heart, an incredible experience. It was the most genuine experience I've ever had in the music industry. I thought TV, I was like, but it was they really want to tell your story. They really want the songwriter to be the star. It was just an incredible, humbling experience. I know Zach was on it too, and I'm sure he can attest to that. The judges, I got Shane McAnally, who is probably one of the nicest humans on this planet. So I felt very lucky for that. I think what Songland did for me was just gave me exposure. As a writer, you run around from room to room and you do all these things. It gave me a chance to pop my head up and be like, oh, hello, I do this, and I've been doing it for quite a while. And it also gave me a platform for myself as an artist, for people to see that I'm also an artist, not just a writer. So all in all, it was a life-changing experience for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Joey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm stuck in America, but I'm good.
And you're from Australia?
Yeah, from Australia. I'm trying to survive this pandemic, similar to Lauren, just trying to stay busy, trying to stay productive, trying to stay sane.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the thing.
Yeah. Is it my turn? Is that what
Yeah. It's definitely your turn.
Go.
But yeah, tell us about what you have going on. I know you have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
You're a CEO, you're a writer, you're executive producer. So yeah, please tell us what you've been up to and what you've been doing.
I started off as an artist, former artist. I still am, so I still release regularly, and that's a big part of what I do. Started up in Sydney. I did do reality TV show X Factor when I was younger, which threw me in the deep end of like the labels and just the more so difficulties of breaking out, and it did give me some exposure. And then I pretty much ended up into the business side of things. I started my own label, Meets Media company, and started just it was pretty much a process of learning everyone else's job. Like, you want a manager when you're an artist, right? And then you end up doing a lot of the manager's job. That's a lot of, I don't know if you guys agree, but you want a manager and then you kind of
That is the truth.
right? Yeah. And then like I was slowly learning each position, and I had learned how to engineer, and I just realized I could offer these services for everyone else, and I could treat it the way that we wish people would treat our work, and like execute efficiently. And now I work with developing artists, bigger artists. I work with influencers that want to get into the industry and just want a smooth, transparent process, like TikTok artists or porn stars or athletes, for example. That's some of the people I work with. And my partner and I, we're working on studio chains here in LA. So we have a few studios, we're building a few more. And yeah, like I'm working on a TV show for developing like a HBO TV show for a girl group. And there's just a lot going on. I'm a lot of things in one, but I just trying to remember why I love music, like you, Lauren, like trying to stay sane and trying to figure out how to go visit Australia during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Corey, how are you, brother?
Man, I'm doing all right.
I missed you, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's been a while.
Miss you too, bro. We've had some amazing times together, and listen, I'm praying for future amazing times, But for the most part, I'm here in New York. Things have, eased up a little bit since April. April was a hectic month. Everyone thought that they were in Handmaid's Tale, and now we're starting to see the light. Restaurants have opened up. One of my favorite restaurants, I just got an email. They said they're opening up and serving food on the street now, and so things are getting back to normal. You know what I saw today for the first time in a long time? I saw bumper to bumper traffic, and I was very happy to see it.
Oh, thanks, right?
Yeah, that's a big one, man. That's a big one.
Yeah. It's some little things that we take for granted, and to be 100% honest, I am very grateful to still be able to keep up with music and work remotely. Because in our business we have been working remotely for about 10 years now. Let's just say my first time cutting an orchestra was in 2010 from New York, but the orchestra was in Los Angeles, so we were doing it remote. And it was just a thing of just like beauty, at the time. But now who would have thought that we would have to be in, at home and working remotely. So of course, some of my sessions before the pandemic were remote studio lyric melody sessions in Eastern Europe or in London or wherever the artist or the client was, we were doing it. So I guess a little bit more about me. I'm a lyric melody top liner. And executive producer and vocal producer and engineer, and all of those hats, as Joey and Lauren have said, have been forced upon me because I always felt like so I became an engineer because I started going to sessions and having engineers do a horrible job and me having to tell them and wasting precious seconds to communicate when I can just press the button myself. So those little things, that in vocal production, instead of hiring a vocal producer, boom, I figured out, like, how can someone tell me how to sing a song that I've written when, that kind of thing. So I felt like it just all fell into place. And I think it's an integral part of our job. It's like, you just can't do one thing. And I've had an awesome career. And with COVID now, I'm like, I've written a will and everything, which is very weird. And who are these songs? Who is the copyrights going to go through? And you start thinking about this stuff, as a songwriter, you're like, man, all right, cool. If today is my last, because I do the breath test every day. I'm like holding for 20 seconds, trying to figure it out. Like, I've stopped watching the news, but I'm really big on my health, and I try to get out of the house and just be creative. But I know I'm long-winded, but what this whole thing has done for me, to be honest, I've been able to sit down and live and actually write about what I think about.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's not like if I'm doing a co-write, obviously if we're co-writing, it's just, it's a big collaborative effort. But right now I can actually write about this thought right now and head right over to my gear and just make it happen. It's not like, oh, I'm going to work on that when I get home. No, I'm home.
Yeah. I'm just home.
So, from working, from A-listers to all the way down to, indie artists, in Miami trying to make it happen, I've had a pleasure of doing so, and I look forward to continuing to do so.
Awesome, man. Yo, Zach, how are you, bro?
Good, man. How you living?
I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you. Yeah, so what have you been up to, man? I mean, also like Lauren, I know you were on Songland as well. So kind of funny how this worked out. We have two Songland contestants here.
Yeah, hey Lauren. Songland was dope. I know they're doing another season, so for everyone out there, I highly recommend it. It was nice because I think songwriters are generally collaborative and like less ego driven than maybe most artists. So I feel like everyone on the show is just super friendly. It wasn't like a competitive vibe at all. Like I'm still super close friends with everyone on my episode, and it was just, yeah, like Lauren said, it's great exposure and a cool experience all around.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of liked my original version more, but
Yeah.
that's a creative process. But yeah, I've been good, man. I'm working. I have a little quarantine circle with my girlfriend and my band, Wake the Wild. It's like a new disco, funky house project. So I feel grateful that I still get to see my boys, and I'm not like totally isolated during this time. And we've actually been super productive because there's like nothing really else going on. I also have been kind of transitioned to doing a lot of sound better work. I don't know if you guys know the website, soundbetter.com, but that's been a nice way to kind of pay the bills when I can't be doing my normal sessions. And yeah, but I'm excited to dive back into like the artist sessions, even over Zoom, and yeah, just keep working away. Feels good. Keep developing. I like what you guys said about wearing multiple hats. I feel like I'm mainly a top liner, but I produce too and can mix, and like I think this is a good time to work on the skills that I'm maybe not as good at. So I want to step up my production game, and I've been doing more beats and stuff like that. So it's been good.
Yeah,
very cool,
awesome, man. Yeah, Sound Better is going to be our competition. So when Jam Compass is out, then you come over with us, okay?
All right, let me know.
Keep you posted.
Yeah. Noah, what's up, bro?
What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
Good, bro. I was gonna say, man, how are you? But I've heard you say, I'm good the last 4 times, so you're probably still good.
I'm great.
You're still good.
Okay.
What's up, guys? My name's Noah North. I am I'm an artist, but I also like to dabble in songwriting and production as well. I kind of came onto the scene 4 years ago. I had this rap song called Goat, and it was kind of one of the first big videos on Rap Nation. And so that's kind of where I got my first looks at. It did pretty well. And then I kind of started moving into more singing and songwriting and less rap and more kind of pop R&B. And that's kind of where I'm currently sitting, just, same as you guys, just stuck in the house, making music every day. I love some of the points that everyone's making about, wearing multiple hats, because I think, being in the house kind of makes you sit there and learn a lot of new things. And I feel like that's helping me grow a lot as an artist. Just learning new tricks of in mixing and mastering, and new tricks in vocal production and things like that. So that's kind of what I've been up to, just trying to get better every day. I just moved to Dallas because of COVID. I was in LA and I didn't have any family out there. So I came back to Dallas to get you know, get some family time in for the next year. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just working on music every day.
Dope.
Yeah,
How
man.
many, yeah, when are you dropping your album? Aren't you putting out an album pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm talking with a few distribution companies right now because I'm still independent. Which I forget who said it, but somebody was saying something about it was something about like being an independent artist and having to like, or having a management, but also like feeling like you're like a manager as well.
Yeah, that was
And
Joey.
Yeah, Joey, I feel you on that. I was like, that one hit deep because that's kind of a point also I want to touch on at some point in this webinar. It's just like being an artist, you're always your own manager. You could have managers, you could have a label, you could have singers and songwriters working with you, but it's like you always have to be your number one manager and worker. So that's something I'm really, you know, tapped in on right now. I have amazing managers and I love those guys, but I feel like I'm also, you know, in a headspace where it's like, I like to call it the Russ mindset because I feel like he did it best, where he just took over and just said, you know what, I'm doing a song a week, so on until this thing works. So I feel like a lot of that's kind of been my focus right now.
Awesome.
And the album hopefully come out soon. I just like, you know how it goes. Everybody here knows how it goes. When there's a ton of there's a lot more heads involved than just us, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
There's no rush though. Just take the time you need to get it right.
Yeah, bro. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's been sitting on ice for like 8 months or 7 months. So it's just like, I almost have like 3 new albums ready to go, you know?
It's good though. That's good.
Yeah, but it has showed me like, you know, when you have to listen to a song for 7 months, you'll really know if you like it or if you hate it. So
true. That's very true.
That's been cool.
Awesome. Frazer, how are you, man?
I'm good, and you're good.
You're good.
Good.
We're all good.
You're good.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Frazer. I'm a top line, bop line, dirty pop songwriter from Toronto. Typically, what's really been strange about this for me is I travel a lot for work. Like I'm rarely actually in Toronto, so I'm either in Europe or I'm in LA. I'm not super proud of this, but like last year, my carbon footprint, I was on 26 flights. So this was like, this has been a huge sort of like, whoa, what is my life sort of thing. But actually what's so amazing I'm finding about it is, you know, this is such a hustle and such like a go. It's not for the faint of heart. So thinking back, I haven't really actually taken time for me to like go inward and like check in with myself and like examine some of my choices. Like, do I drink too much? And like, you know, like old versions of myself that maybe that I've been carrying along with me. So actually like this COVID sort of situation has really sort of allowed me to like take a breath. I'm actually heading back to Sweden August 26th. I've been taking like Skype sessions and stuff, but yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how my work translates with this new sort of outlook and version of myself. Like, what does my music that I'm making look like now with a different headspace? So yeah, I found that to be like super, like the silver lining in all of this has been, I've seen some beauty definitely in this forced situation, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what have you been working on during the quarantine?
Well, actually what's so funny, so like everyone's been saying, you've got to wear a lot of hats, but I've realized that like my pitching has been not as hard as my writing. You know, like when I'm traveling and I'm on a trip, I'll come home with 23 songs maybe or whatever, but am I actively pitching all these songs? Like, it's like, you know, you've got this huge library. So it's actually given me the opportunity to kind of filter through songs and sort of see who I can get them to and how I can get them, like new sort of strategies on getting them out there. Because you can have amazing songs, but if no one hears them, they're just
I love that.
dust, right?
Yeah, there's just so many songs that you guys are writing nonstop. I mean, it's hard to keep track sometimes. I'm sure.
Totally. Like I got an email today saying like, remember this? It's like, no, I actually, now I do.
Are you sure it's me?
I guarantee you in this group, there's at least one #1 record that hasn't been emailed out out of everybody on this.
For sure, for sure.
100%.
Guys,
Probably.
I'm just gonna grab my burrito that's sitting in the hallway. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
You're good.
Very important. You get it. Get it.
I wanna just kind of like go through everyone real fast too, like, you know, ask like a quick question or two. Starting with Dyson again, like, what is your songwriting process ultimately? Like, what can you say or give advice on as far as like what works for you? Because I know you're very consistent in your writing. So.
Thank you. I would say for me personally, I'm very much, I go on how I feel. So normally I'll come up with a concept first because I love to have a strong lyrical story to pull on, and melody comes easier to me than lyrics. But I'd say that it's very important that you just find what works for you. Just because it works for me that way, it might not work for you that way. Again, it's easy to think you have to write a hit. Like I have to write a hit, and does this feel like a hit? I'm not sure. My advice is to just write and just keep on writing. In my first year, when I signed my first pub deal, I think I wrote 650 songs, which is a lot of songs. It was, I don't even know what I'm doing, but in doing that, I learned how to write a song and how not to write a song. Because if you listen back to those demos, there's some corkers in there, not in a good way. So yeah, my advice, going around the houses, but my advice is to try different ways of writing and find which one works for you, and then just keep on building on that technique. You know, not every song you write is going to be great. And, you know, no, it's like, that's not even a real thing. You know, it's like 1 in 20 songs for a hit songwriter is the average. So just take pressure off yourself and just create that way.
Love it. Corey, what do you think, bro?
Man, to be honest, I've been trying to figure out what that process was for the last 15 years. What my process is, I've found that now when I drive, I'm a voice note whore, and I'm just no matter what, it's like, oh, here it is, and I'll listen to tracks. I'll drive out to the Hamptons, just 2 hours, boom, just listen to tracks, and I got a concept, boom, and I'm ready to let me get back and just get it. But a lot of times, to be honest, I'll just turn on a track. I'll listen through a folder of tracks, or I'll play chords or a guitar loop or something, and I'll just figure out the key, and we're just punching and going. I'll do a melody pass 2 or 3 times, and then I'll figure out, oh man, I really enjoy this part, or I don't like, or maybe I like this chorus. Oh, I like this word. And then most times, the chorus it will happen. And I love starting with the chorus because, hence the name Corey Chorus. I love starting with the chorus because it's the main idea. And if you can get the chorus, if you can just get the main idea across to the listener, the verses in itself will fill itself in. You know, whether wherever you want to go, the verses will lead up to a chorus that you'd love to listen to, you know, more than once. So my process is completely different, but these days it's definitely been a voice note and just figuring it out. Like, all right, cool, I got this part. I got it, got the chorus. And then by the time I'm at, I got to get this by the next 5 exits. All right, cool, boom, knock out the verse. And then, you know, it varies in different days. It varies, but we just try to have a lot of fun with it. And that's what it's always been. It's about the fun. It's the pressure and the fun. How can you beat the last thing you did? You know, like the last thing you recorded, like, you know, I call myself like beating myself up about breaths when I hear songs now. It's just like, man, I should have took a different breath there. Or I should have dropped the T right there. Or, you know, and you start thinking about, this is what COVID has done. Not only just COVID, but yeah, more recently, it's like, how do you listen to phrases? You know, you dive into, you know, different ways of more so how you vocal produce yourself. So again, the creative process is always different, but it always has a similar result.
Nice. Zach, how about you, man?
Man, I feel like for me, my spark is within like the first 5 minutes of hearing a beat. If I'm with the producer homie and he's like playing the beat on loop for hours and changing little hi-hat things, and then I go in there after an hour and a half, I'm like, I got nothing left. But if I just hear it, I'm like, all right, I'm energized, like, let me go. And I liked what Corey was saying too in the car. Like often it's actually when I'm not trying to make a melody or not trying to find a cool concept, but I just like, it's almost like a weird subconscious meditative thing where I just like, if I start spacing out or I'm like texting someone or whatever, then like I'll start humming a melody without even thinking about it. And like, that's the best melody.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like totally locked in with the chords and the rhythm. I'm not like
yeah.
trying. It's just happens. So I'm trying to like, I feel like I do put a lot of pressure on myself. Like you were saying, Lauren, to like, it's gotta be a hit. And like, we've all had A&Rs, you know, tell us like there's all these rules to writing. And I was in a camp one time. I would start singing ideas and the A&R was like, no. I was like, damn.
Hell nah.
So now I have this like filter that like when I'm writing, I start thinking, is it a hit? Is it not a hit? And I think the best thing is like just to relax.
Yeah, 100%.
Chill, have fun with it. And like what comes. Some of them are good. Some of them are not good.
That's okay.
Listen back the next day. Yeah. So I'm trying to like find that inner peace and just kind of roll with that.
Very cool. Joey, what about you?
I agree with Lauren in the sense that there's a process for everyone. But for me, I'm like Zach in the sense of my best work comes when I'm thinking the least and I'm just feeling. So I tend to just listen to like the beats of what's available, see what I connect with, and I'm just like, put the mic on. Don't let me think, just let me improvise. And a lot of the time random words come out anyway, and I affiliate unintentionally like a concept to that melody. I used to be a voice memo little like hoarder. I realized I never go back. I never go back to them. Like I don't do it. So now my process is like what sticks out. You know when you do a whole run through a song and you kind of keep coming back to certain like maybe a 3-note or like a portion, and then you're like, okay, I remember that already. I connect to that. So I tend to go with more so of those melodies. Like I don't need to record it and hear it back to know it. It stuck with me the first time. Other writers can get in the booth, and if they haven't dominated that concept in my brain, like that dominant melody line, I'm like, that's the one. Melody comes way easier to me than lyric as well. And I just don't like overthinking. I realize when I'm working for clients and I'm not putting as much pressure on myself than I am for my stuff, I'm just accidentally just spitting out great music. And I'm like, damn, like, why can't I be like that? So yeah, it's more about, I guess it's more of a feminine thing, just that intuitive. It sounds a little corny, but that's how I go about it. It's like the first 5 minutes, the best, let's do it. My best songs are like 10, 15-minute songs. Yeah.
Awesome.
Like not 10, 15 minutes long, 10, 15 minutes to write.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm like,
short songs.
It's one note.
Frazer, how about you, bro?
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like when I overthink it, sometimes I'm in sessions and people are just spending so long, and I get that's how you should be. I've been in some like big sessions that you guys have been involved with, and I know what that can do, but I just enjoy the free flowing, like, wow, like this is it. That's my favorite. That's my go-to approach.
Awesome. Frazer, how about you?
I think it depends on if I'm working with just writers and a producer, or a writer or like an artist or whatever. But if I'm just working with other writers and a producer, I always love to start with like a ref and a title, like something like this in this lane with this title and this twist. I just find it easier as a starting point for minds to be able to meet there instead of everyone just shooting out random ideas. At least it like you're a little more focused starting off. But if I'm working with an artist, I try and I guess pull out something that's unique about them. It's funny when an artist wants to be something and it's like, well, that person's already doing that. So you have to find something, you know, that's unique to you. But what was really cool, actually, I was in a session earlier last year, and I don't know why I asked this question, but I was like, if you were going to sing karaoke, what would your go-to karaoke song be? And they were like, anything by Queen. So we ended up writing this like crazy as fuck, like Bohemian Rhapsody sort of We Are the Champions kind of style song, but that never would have happened had that question not been asked. So it totally took the session into the most unique direction, but like such a crazy ass song in like the best way. So yeah, I don't know, it changes every time, but there's definitely, I've found over the years, I've developed sort of a formula, and a prescription, I guess, if you will. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Those are some unique unique ways to approach it. It's cool. Okay, Noah, how about you?
I feel like I read something about Party Next Door like 5 years ago when I first got into music. And this is before I even understood that artists could also engineer themselves. And it said that he just sat over his microphone, click play, and delete if he didn't like it, and continued to just record till the song was finished. I didn't really grasp the concept of that even much until I kind of saw the way that and I mean, I know there's a lot of weird things going on around Tory Lanez right now in the industry, but I think as an artist that records music and just, you know, cranks out song after song and melody after melody, it's the same kind of concept where he just sits over the mic and he'll record a whole entire song. And I got to see that up close a lot over the last year or two. So I feel like that's kind of the way that I approach it. I'll get on my computer, find a beat. I don't really ever overthink it too much. And I'll just go through beats until something hits me, and I'll just turn my mic on and I'll just start recording ideas. And I think to Zach's point, a lot of times I'll just leave the mic going, or I'll be watching TV or just focus on something else, and I'll just sing along in my head of what I would want to hear on the record. And that's probably, I would say that's the number one thing I think about, is like, would I want to hear this? Like, would I hopefully turn on the radio and this song come on and at this exact melody? Like, and I don't overthink it. That's like kind of the number one thing with me. It's just, if it's not good, I'll just move on to the next record. And I try not to beat, you know, songs to death if they're not really clicking for me.
Dope. Okay, awesome. Has anyone worked in Nashville? A little bit.
Yeah.
Always wanted to, but I've never been.
I worked in
Okay.
Had Nashville fried chicken, but
yeah, I worked in that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. No, one thing I wanted to kind of talk about is the difference between writing in Nashville than writing in Los Angeles. From, you know, Tony and I's experience, we did like a week out there of like a writing camp, and it was just a way different process on how they approach, you know, the creative process, you know, just in general. You know, from what we've experienced, it was literally just like they just rolled in with the acoustic guitar, and like that was it. Like 4 chords and
get a top line and some guitar, and that's all you need. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah. And like obviously, like in LA, it's like everyone rolls in with like these beat packs and these loops, and I mean it is literally like the complete opposite there. So I wasn't sure if anyone you know, worked out there frequently or not. So just wanted to kind of touch on that real quick.
I write like that. I don't do it there.
It's an interesting process. You know, it's like, you know, people have, you know, families and dinners to go to at 6 p.m. So, you know,
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, we were in like an attic. It was like what is that called? Like Publishing Row or something. And it was literally just like it was all houses, and like it was literally like an attic studio. And this dude just like rolled in with the acoustic guitar, and like they were like, "Let's go," you know.
That's all you need, yeah, and we'll build it afterwards. You know, we'll build it afterwards.
Yeah, and like the whole process was different too, because it's like if you make a song good enough, then the label has like their producers that take that song and turn it into country smashes.
Then they'll invest the actual money, the advance to create the song, to build the song out.
And also, if a song is great on a guitar and nothing else is real, it's a great song.
Yeah, 100%.
Not hiding behind any cool sounds, or you know.
I agree.
I've been finding myself writing like that a lot more recently, because I don't have a lot of the beats right now and stuff. I don't get to work with the producers as much. So I'll write over a loop, and I'll just send my vocals to a producer and let them, you know, create a whole song around it. I think like the songs, usually when they do that, I like them better than when I just create a song over a beat.
When you're trying to shoehorn it into something that already exists, it's a little, you're kind of influenced by the beat. And if anyone heard me.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, since the pandemic started, I've heard a couple records that have really touched the current times. You know, I think like Anderson .Paak Lockdown was one, but I haven't really been hearing too much, you know, too many records that are really touching the times. Like, have you guys been approaching songs like kind of to stay current in the writing right now with what's going on in the world, or is it like, because I know like Corey was like talking about, you know, you're kind of like writing about like what's now like for you, that you're like just grounded in your home. So I don't know if you guys are approaching things differently now that like the world has changed and like the meaning of music I think has changed, you know?
Well,
It's not all about like being in the club and like popping bottles anymore and like all the bullshit that it's been the last 5 years. So
right.
you know.
Well, me personally, I've always written about what was happening. So, you know, with the pandemic, I guess emotional songs are a little bit more emotional. Considering everything that's going on, you know, you'll hear it in a song, but necessarily about what's going on with the pandemic or what's going on with the protests. You know, every time there was a protest, you know, artists naturally, you know, they will write about what's going on in their lives. And I think, you know, what you would find that in my music, you always found that. So yes, I was always writing about the way I felt about cops shooting people. You know, I was always writing about the way, LGBTQ rights and, you know, love is love. I was always writing about what was happening in the news and what's happening in the world. But right now it's just, you know, we just try to, we're writing about it. We're writing about it, but, you know, we're also being creative as well. There's a lot of hope and imagination now as well. It's like, you know, what's going to happen when we're done? Like when this is over, we'll be doing this, you know, when this is, you know, when we, you know, I cannot wait to hug you. Like I cannot wait to hug my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like something as simple as that. Like I see my mom every day. I drive over to her house, you know, we were masked up, you know, and all that good stuff. I'm doing work around the house, but I haven't hugged my mom in months.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's those kind of interactions that we miss, and that's what we're adding into the music. At least I am. That's what I'm adding into the music. And that's what, you know, right now we're working on Space Jam records, right? And different things for Space Jam. And like, we're using the pandemic, and, you know, like there was like one scene that was like a father and son song they were looking for. And it's like, yo, how can I use this? What can I use that? And I use the feeling of my mom, you know, the feeling of my mom, like me being able to hug my mom again. You know, being able to like just do little things like with my niece and like, you know, family members that I haven't seen. We see on FaceTime, but FaceTime is starting to get played out. So
exactly.
I'm using it, but not necessarily talking about it.
Yeah, literal, not literal.
You know,
just the emotions that it's bringing out in you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mean, I cried for little things like, oh my God, they got black truffle ketchup at Trader Joe's. Like, man, you just emotional. Like just emotional. Like sitting there in your mouth, tears running down your face. Like, yo, this is wild. But I mean, like, to be honest, like in April, like, yo, I was crying for everything. Like, yo, I'm crying. Like, why am I in the supermarket crying? And again, that's a lyric. Why am I in the supermarket crying? It don't necessarily have to be a pandemic, but it can be like, you know, why am I in the supermarket crying over you? You know, why am I here? Like, you know,
it's bringing out a different emotion for sure.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for a lyric, but I'm just a sucker for emotional experiences, and it's definitely bringing out my emotional side. This pandemic is definitely doing that, and hopefully we hear it on the song soon.
Has anyone heard Fuck 2020?
That's what I was just about to say.
I know. What is that?
That's
actually, I did hear that.
It's so sick.
Song.
Yeah.
Look that one up.
Look up F 2020. I forget who it's by, but it just came on my Spotify last week, and I was like, "What? This is dope."
Same. It came on my like Discover Weekly or something. I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
I think it was like a Music Friday or something like that. Yeah.
I think it's by a group called Avenue Beat. It was like
yeah.
Super crazy on TikTok. My girlfriend showed me the record, and I was just like, "This is genius!" Like,
just the lyrics are so dope. It's such like
so
a
good
commentary on like everything. Yeah.
Who would have thought 2020 would be this?
No.
It started off terrible.
Lit. Oh man. January,
2021. It's all about 2021. 2021 is the year. Hopefully, you guys have all written like a 600 songs like Lauren in like 4 months.
Okay, that was a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
And then you
I
guys
don't
just
advise
you guys just re-up on the pub deals next year for like
I don't know about you guys, but it was extremely difficult for me to write anything the first like 2 months of the pandemic. Did you guys feel that too, or is that just me? Because I was just in shock for like 2 months.
It wasn't 2 months, but it was at least like even like 3 weeks. I was like, okay, I started eating a bunch of food. I was like, I'm not going to the gym, you know. But then I was like, oh, shit, like life's still gonna happen. Eventually, we're gonna come out of this, and I don't want to be 100 pounds heavy yet. No songs, like I'm back.
Yeah, I went through that same stage, Lauren.
Pardon?
Like the first 3 weeks was like the what the hell's going on?
I was like, wait.
Reading every like article and meme about COVID and all that stuff, eating like shit, not working out. Yeah. And then I flipped the switch, like, okay, pivot time, like, time to turn it up.
He's going this way or this way, and I want to go.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Time to make the best of this shit, period, story. And then now I'm at the point where, because, like, I was traveling for, like, 12 years as a DJ, like, every weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, this is incredible. Like, I don't get to see anyone. Like, I have peace now. Like, I'm focused in. And then now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to get back to it. So
it's like I'm scared of flying, like terrified, and I actually miss being on a plane, being afraid of flying. Like I'm like, give me my fear back. Like, just sign me up. Like round trip.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We have a question from the chat. Do you think the concept of Zoom sessions, which a lot of people have adapted to really well, will survive after things go back to normal?
Yeah.
Or do you think this has now created a new lane for people to travel less and work more and continue to work with everyone?
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
I mean, have you guys been doing a lot of Zoom sessions? Like who's mastered that one?
I don't love it. I think there's something about energy between humans when you're in the room. I think there's totally a way to make it work, and you just have to work out with that person how to go about it. Like trying to do melodies at the same time over a track is like it just doesn't work.
There's a solution for that.
What's your solution?
Did you ever hear of a company called Audio Movers?
No.
So there's a company called Audio Movers, right? Mm-hmm. You pay for a week, it's free. Then you pay $99 for the year. Audio Movers, while you have Zoom on, if me and Frazer have our DAWs open, right? And you have the app is called Listen To, right? The plugin is called Listen To. Audio Movers is the company that makes it.
Gotcha.
You put on, if Frazer puts Listen To on his DAW's master and I put my Listen To on my DAW, I can hear everything in real time, no delay. It starts at the same time, vice versa. And there's another component to that Listen To plugin that if you put it on the actual DAW, the recording track, whatever's recorded from my DAW will go in real time to Frazer's DAW.
What?
And he can play back. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
We're all just like, what?
That was low key one of my ideas.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I was a part of a conference 2 weeks ago. I have a partnership with Sony ATV Music Publishing, right? So they had like different artists come on. They had Shakira, they had like Maluma, they had a whole bunch of different artists just coming on talking about their projects, in a similar function like this. Mm-hmm. And they were talking, and then after we're talking about like 200 some odd producers and writers on this chat, and they will pair everyone into like these virtual sessions afterwards. And then you download Listen To, and it was just magic. And I'm like, wow, someone figured it out. Yeah. They figured it out, guys. Can you imagine how rich we would be if we figured that out?
Chad from the chat said Corey has 30% of that company.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I wish.
Definitely invest. He's got some
I wish.
That's so crazy. I had no idea. Because me and my boys were talking about that like a year ago. Like, man, what if we could just work on kind of the same DAW from a different place? Like, that would change the game. That's crazy.
Remember, like, it was a lot of control your, share my screen, and then you would control.
Yeah.
that way. Of course, that was a great way to do it. But the way this is, it's like you press record and you see it coming in via Wi-Fi at the same. You know, like when you're playing, like if you're playing a track, if I decide to play some music right now, you guys will all hear it at a different time and be bopping your head at a different time.
Yeah.
Imagine on a chat. I press play and we're all going like this at the same time.
That's amazing. Great. Can't wait to try it.
They should get stock in this. The company is called Audio Movers, and you'll see it, and that's their only app.
I got it right here.
Now get the camera.
He's already on it. He's got it.
Wait, we're gonna have a session, guys.
Yeah, man. So to answer your question, I do think that this is the new normal. There is never a reason of, oh no, well the studio isn't available. All right, cool. I'm in deep agreement with Lauren and the personal, you know, like I sweat a lot. Y'all can see, look, my shirt is just my God. I sweat a lot. And that means I'm having a good time. And that means that the juices are flowing. So usually when I go to a session and my belly starts sweating, oh, we're having a time. We're having a time. We're having a time. You feel me? So at the end of the day, yes,
this is why I had to have you on this webinar today.
You feel me? Like I miss it. I do miss the personal connection that you do have in the studio. Like, you know, whether a person has some hot breath or they have on some great perfume, I do miss it all. I do miss it all.
But good or bad?
I think we'll get there. Someone reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to have a session? How much would it cost to get you in the room? Boom. I'm like, listen, I need 2 bottles of hand sanitizers, interchangeable masks. We got to keep our 6 feet. A studio that I work with.
Bring my own mic.
Yeah. Straight up, like pop filters. Yeah, straight up. Like, think about it. When the last time you went to a studio and you saw them clean the pop filter?
No, that's
right. So that's why I used to always bring my own pop filters anyway if I went to a studio. So you have to do that. A lot of like the whole console, and we're not working in consoles anymore unless you're spraying some stuff on it. And who has some stuff to spray on it without ruining the console? So it's a lot of things to think about. Imagine, you know, you're working at a console and then there's a plexiglass behind with the artist. Like, oh, what do you think about that? And it's just a full-on plexiglass. Like, until then, I'll stay home.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Having a good time, by the way.
Well, I mean, it's true, man. I mean, like, just like planes, like studios need to be sanitized better moving forward. That's for sure.
For sure.
But like, you know, it's now we're at the point where it's like you said, Corey, there's no excuse. I mean, people can just be more productive on a weekly basis, especially, I mean, even with Jam Compass, I mean, we're having tools where we're kind of incorporating all that stuff. So it's like literally the music biz in your pocket, but eventually it'll have a desktop app where it's like a full, you know, kind of marketplace for creatives to kind of just collab and pop open the screen and like, boom, like let's run it, you know?
Well, you can make a number one in your bedroom too, right? Like it's.
Yeah, why not?
So, yeah.
You don't need much.
Yeah.
I have the idea. That's all.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so we have like 10 minutes left here. Does anybody want to add anything or any advice or anything that they're excited on coming up? Any releases? Now's the time to plug it in, guys.
Man.
I'm not at questions personally, but we have 10 minutes to kind of just have like a group chat.
Well, this is really cool, guys. What is this exactly? Like you guys do this every single week, like a round table? Like I don't know.
This is like the 8th episode we've done, and you know it's not quite weekly, but we've been doing it for basically since the pandemic started. And you know, last time we did it was a producer episode, and just having industry people on to sort of discuss what's going on with what they're doing in the world and how it's affecting them, and it's been great so far. You know, been a lot of
we've had episodes with like big managers and A&Rs and people that work at big management companies, publishers, you know, big producers, songwriters. In the last like 4 episodes, we've kind of kept it like we did a DJ episode, the producer episode. Now is the songwriter edition of it. But you know, as we launch, we're going to be continuing doing more and more. We've kind of like spaced them out because it's like to get 8 people every week in the music business, not the easiest thing. But we've done a lot. I mean, we've had, you know, over 60, maybe to 75 people in the business that are all in it on these things, and it's been incredible. And there's a lot of talent in here, so like we're gonna connect you guys on email, and hopefully you guys can collab with each other too. I mean, there's a lot of dope music that can come from this webinar alone. I know that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's been dope. I mean, we're just kind of ramping up for the release of the app and trying to just get the industry aware, because likes sound better. Like Zach was very familiar with using it. We'll have the trusted payment system and a really dope tool for creatives and even the business side of the industry to use, and stay connected. And we have split sheet integrations coming, video chat, so you could FaceTime or do sessions. Like that's long-term goal, but cool. Yeah, it's gonna be really dope. Like the app is it just got submitted to the App Store. Apple's making their notes, which has been annoying as hell. But yeah, we're almost there, so it's gonna be cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Awesome,
Yeah.
thanks.
We've been working on it for a long time, so hopefully we're good to go pretty soon.
I'm excited to use it. I do have a question too for everyone on here. I have a song that I just dropped on Spotify a couple months ago. It's called "You," and it's like it's like my first crack at a real pop song. Because like I said, I came from rap, but I would love to get some critiques later if y'all could listen to it and just send me back any notes or ideas, because I'm really jumping into this pop world, and I'm gonna try to get better and better. So that'd be cool.
Song called You too.
You have a song called "You"?
Like probably the same time you dropped it. So there you go.
Did you really?
That's pretty cool.
God.
Damn.
Key and
Well,
tempo.
Freedom gods.
Well, I'll peep that one. I'll peep that one too.
Vibes. I'm totally down listening to anything, to listen at a little bit of everything, man. Like, this is the time. We got nothing else to do but listen.
I'll be here.
So
No, definitely check Noah out if you guys haven't heard his music. I mean, definitely young and very, very up and coming. Very, very bright future ahead. That's for sure.
And Noah,
everybody needs to connect for real. Everyone on this webinar needs to connect for sure.
Noah, where are you at?
I'm in Dallas now, bro.
No,
I'm
yeah.
out here. I was in I was in like a back house of a tiny I'm about to trip y'all out. I was in the back house of a tiny complex in LA, in North Hollywood. And I was paying the same amount for rent as I'm paying for here in Dallas.
Sounds about right.
So,
yeah.
So what's up?
Damn.
Yeah, so it's definitely
that's like for you.
We ain't going back to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Now that all this Zoom stuff is working, I might just stay here forever.
Ain't nothing like flying in, man. Well, I'm in New York, so yeah, it's it's real. But still, Los Angeles is a great fly-in. I love Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles for 9 years, but I love it's just something about flying into Los Angeles, that awe.
Yeah, totally. When you're coming down on the plane, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I always find is so great too about going in and coming out is no one cancels on you. You're there for your 3-week period, and you're hitting 3 sessions a day, and very rarely does someone say, "Can't make it," But if you live there, I feel like cancellations would happen more often.
Oh, I get you.
Because it's so LA.
I've done both.
Have a song called So
Oh,
LA.
let's go to Rome real quick.
Let's go to Sugarfish instead.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yes, I do. I guess I will take you up on the offer for a shameless plug. I'm working on this brother and sister group. My brother, the 6-sibling group, brothers and sisters, 4 boys, 2 girls. Their names are, the group name is JAGMAC, and they're incredible. We've worked on an entire project, and their record just came out last Friday. It's called Doing That Thing. It's going into iHeartRadio rotation next Tuesday, and it's just a cool vibe. So if you can just join the challenge, they got a little TikTok situation they're doing. And then there's another girl named Julie Bergen, who's incredible. She's
Julie.
from
Julie.
Norway.
Norway?
She's from Norway.
No way.
She's from Norway. I have her new singles coming out August. I want to say 16th. August 16th,
Dope.
but it's crazy. It's a really cool
I
record.
love her voice. She's amazing.
Yeah, her voice is crazy,
Yeah,
and her stage performance is amazing as well. But she ain't getting on nobody's stage soon. But I did see that she did a drive-through concert out there. So,
Nice.
yeah. So this is gonna be released stateside. So fingers crossed, and good vibes to the creative gods to bring music to your souls and ears.
Are you hoping for that song to cross over to North America too?
Well, the Julie Bergen's record is going to be an American release. Warner.
Oh, dope! Cool.
It's going to be an American release. So it's a hopefully it happens. Considering she's if you're familiar with her, on her stage performance is going to sell. Is going to gain new fans, and people are going to be able to discover a new artist. Though she's not a new artist over there, she would be a new artist here. But her stage performance would have allowed people to engage with her and her to find new fans. But hopefully, they're able to figure out some sort of marketing plan and promotional plan that will, again, allow her to perform in front of people. Because once you see it, you're like, oh my God, I love you. Come in. So.
It's great.
Fingers crossed for that. So yeah.
Cool.
Yes, man.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I got a little plug. My band has like 8 beats that we don't have top lines yet for.
Send them shits.
Send them, or we could do Zoom sessions or whatever.
Send them Zoom,
Nice.
whatever. Let's do it.
But
Yeah,
house stuff,
thinking
the funky house stuff is needed, bro. We need more of that right now. Once everyone's gonna want to feel really good after this,
Right.
True.
Yeah, we had a little Zoom dance party. It was kind of cool. It was like 50 people up on Zoom, like doing their thing. But it'll be nice to be in person again.
Straight up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm DJing this Zoom party for Tinder on Friday. So,
Oh, nice.
Crazy.
yeah, that's a first for me. I mean,
People are like make out with their cameras. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
it's like a big, it's like this, but like I gotta do a bunch of weird setting stuff with my setup, and yeah, it's like there's 2 rooms, and one's to talk in, and the other one's to party with me. So.
Oh, shit.
That's cool. That's cool.
Kinda
I'll be there.
That's the world we're in right now, guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, you know what I always thought? I thought someone would do it, but I thought it would work for weddings. Say, for instance, you're having a wedding, right? All these Zoom weddings and things that are happening. Everyone should get a kit. Like, I always felt like someone should get a kit. They should get a piece of cake. They should get a champagne glass. They should get the rice. They should get all the kit mailed to them beforehand. And then you watch the ceremony. You throw rice at your screen. That kind of thing. Right? Same things with party, though. I feel like same thing with the club. Same thing with like Vegas clubs. You should get a kit. You're with your people inside your house, whether it's 3 or 4 people, you got your friends. You can still order a bottle. It still comes through Drizzly or wherever else. You still order it. And then you're getting like party, like smokestacks. You're getting sparklers. You're getting all this stuff. Someone should have figured this out so we can still go to the club. But I'm going to tell you this. and then I'm going to get off of here. In New York, you remember, imagine downtown LA, right? Or New York, how the streets are. Now the streets, the parking spots, imagine parking spots. There are no parking spots anymore in Manhattan. And in certain parts. There's still parking spots, but there's designated parking spots. They've turned about 4 spots into now restaurants. So in the street, they built wooden areas to eat in the street, with bricks and all this, just like wooden and bricks, so your car can't crash into it. They have tables. Same thing for clubs. The clubs are coming next week. They'll have there's up in the Bronx, they already have them. They have the VIP section, the booths like at a club with the tables. And because you can't party indoor, but you can party outdoor. And they
playing Night at the Roxbury realness right there.
I read an article.
There's actually a street over here near me. I'm in Clinton Hill, Brooklyn. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're talking about ravers. We're talking about 1,000 people in the street, mask on, big speakers, like full-on rave. Like,
that's so fun.
You're at a festival. And that's what they're doing. Like, people, you can order bottles, you can order drinks. I don't want that to end. The whole drink and walk situation, I don't want that to end. I love that. Oh yeah, get a margarita on the side of the street, out of a restaurant window.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
right.
that's the dream. That's the dream right there.
That's the dream.
That is pretty cool.
That's the dream.
I
So
read an article in the New York Times recently about how clubs are getting rid of the dance floor.
wow.
Or
Wow.
when new clubs that reopen, when this is like,
Mhm.
further along,
Huh?
it's going to be like more exclusivity, like more than ever, and that like people are going to be like they want to like know who they're partying with at this point, and that like the dance floors are like going to be a lot smaller or non-existent, like
Wow.
speakeasies in the 20s.
Wow.
So I hope that's not the case, but like again, that'll affect the state of like where music will be, So we'll see. But
you don't need a dance floor to dance, though. You can dance in the booth. You can dance.
That is true. You dance
Anywhere.
wherever you need.
But
I'm
yeah,
thinking of how do you get in the club? How do you
Interesting.
get in the club with your people then?
It's like you have to be like, it's either going to be like Chateau Marmont is now members only here. They just announced it yesterday.
What?
So
They're members only now.
Oh wow.
they're going to like compete with Soho House. So it's like, things are getting like more exclusive because it's like, it's a pandemic, I guess,
Yeah.
You can pay. You don't have COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Much. But yeah, guys, we are at 5:00 Pacific time. Definitely want to thank everyone for taking the time out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All
It's
your
awesome.
talking points and opinions are so valid and so helpful for a lot of people in the business. So thank you very much.
Let's give a big round of applause to Anthony and Tony on this.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Nah, we appreciate you guys, and good luck with everything. Excited to hear everyone's music that's been written during this time. And yeah, stay safe out there.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you
Yep.
guys.
Yeah, you
that
too,
was
guys.
fun.
That's
Yeah,
well.
Excited to link with you.